Game started.
Oh, Castleton from the UK. Okay, it's Castleton's move here. D4. Well, let's play D5 and see if he plays a Queen's Gambit. Okay, now I usually play the Slav against the Queen's Gambit, but let's play the Queen's Gambit decline since I just the classical line since I just did a chess basics on that. Okay, he plays knight c3. That's the main move. Knight f6. And the pin. Okay. He didn't take first, which is one way to play it, the exchange variation. So I'm going to play bishop e7 to break the pin. I may play h3. I don't think that's really necessary here. I don't know if a piece is really threatening to go to h3. He hasn't played e3 though. I could consider taking now. He hasn't played, since he hasn't moved the e-pawn, this pawn is actually vulnerable. Yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll play this move, a6, with the idea of if he still doesn't play the e-pawn forward, I'll just take and then play I will take and play b5 and just try and hold on to that pawn. Ah, so he goes past. That's interesting. Okay, let's get the other knight out before I get in trouble here. You don't want to waste too many moves with your pawns. You can find yourself sadly lacking in development. And now let's do something about this bishop. So we try knight e5, the Lasker move. I haven't played h6 here, but I don't see the need to play it. Knight e5, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes. And my queen is out, his two pieces are gone. And that looks pretty good. Knight e5, he could play bishop takes, queen takes, then knight takes, pawn takes. And I'm still left with the only developed piece, somewhat of a messed up pawn structure, but not so bad. It's actually an extra pawn in the, no, it's not an extra pawn in the center. It's a double E pawn, but not an awful pawn structure. Okay, so he declines to go into the exchanges. Can I play e5 here? Pawn takes. No, I have not got. I don't have enough force on that. Let's castle. It's a good thing I played a6 actually. When the bishop is on this square, I was going to try and draw a line. When the bishop is on this diagonal, aiming at c7, there's always a danger of knight to b5, threatening c7. Okay, so now he takes. Plays there. So I was wondering about f6 and e5. In this position, since I can't play e5 right away, but that would leave me with somewhat of a unusual structure here, doubled pawns. Also f6, e5 takes. I would probably have to take the queen. E5 immediately as a pawn sack is not that appealing. Okay, let's try maybe something over here. I just want to undermine this c-pawn. He'll probably play b4 here, supporting the pawn. Well, this is the danger in playing openings you don't usually play, or opening lines you don't usually play. You very quickly get into positions where you don't really know what's going on. Still, this is how I learn anyway. Try the openings out and see what happens. And then I look at them afterwards and see what could have gone better. what I could have done better. Yeah, so he just plays b4 like I was expecting. So if I take, will he take with the b pawn? Let's leave that there for a moment and develop the bishop. Bishop b7. A little support for my advanced e-pawn. I can always play f5 to support it as well. And then, yeah, with the bishop there, maybe bishop to f6 and then e5. And then that exchange might be okay for me. Pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes is probably even good for me. So his knight is a bit cramped by my e-pawn. That's the one of the advantages of this structure. And the bishop here blocks me from playing f5 though. So if he can find a way of attacking that pawn, he might get something. Okay, he's got an idea here of taking and maybe exposing an attack on the c file. So I need to be quick about what I do. Let's try and block off this bishop. If he pushes with the d pawn, I'll probably take his bishop and let him take my knight. Okay, so he didn't. So should I take the d pawn? This is winning a pawn, isn't it? But it leaves him with pressure on c7. So he may have adequate compensation. How about if I just vacate the c file by taking with the knight, also opening up this line. So my bishop on b7 is supporting the e-pawn. The knight on d4 seems well defended. Okay, so he just wants to trade it off. Probably not a bad idea for him. And do I have anything better with that knight? I don't actually see it. Let's go ahead and take it. And let's maybe get my queen to the e file and a rook to the d file. This is still defended. Can't really push on. Maybe he could push on. But that would turn into something okay. If he takes, or if he pushes and I take, he takes here with check, I take, and he takes my bishop. That kind of thing. Looks like more or less an even trade of material. This pawn for that pawn. But once again, he has his pressure on c7. So can I do something on the d file? Well, the other idea is to push the e-pawn and threaten checkmate on g2. That's another idea. How about? But I think I'm going to play something simpler. Bishop to e5, just trying to alleviate the pressure on c7, solve that problem. His bishop has nowhere to go. He can't take on. He can't take on e4 because bishop takes here check, and the queen is undefended. So if queen e4, bishop takes h7 check, king takes bishop, queen takes queen. Or bishop takes queen. I'm sorry, the bishop is defending the pawn anyway. That was all nonsense. So what can he do here? I mean, he might as well take my bishop. He's got nothing else. If he blocks it with g3, he's just giving up this square f3. I should be able to find some good use for that. Or lets me take. That's okay too.
Check.
So should I continue to take? If I take this pawn now, kind of blocks up the C file and leaves us with a structure which is equally bad for both of us, you might say. It's a bad structure, but my structure is no worse than his. And I still have the extra pawn. And now, rook to the D file. If he comes after my bishop on the B file, I'm going to go to C6 here. The idea of bishop C6, maybe even B5, trade off that bishop. Maybe I will do that without even being prompted. The reason why I want to get rid of this bishop is I was thinking a rook to D6 would be a very nice piece. Chase the queen away from that blockading square. Hit the pawn on A3. Rook E3, obviously I meant rook E3. Okay, so when he plays there, that stops me from moving the bishop, basically. Okay, I could play rook to maybe I should move the king. If I move the king, then I would have the option of playing F5. And at the moment, this pawn is supported. Hard to say. Yeah, let's try it though. I was thinking he's got a pin on the D pawn, so he can play the move F3. F3, F4, takes. Maybe I take with the bishop. Try to hold on to the F pawn and threaten something on G2 again. I play queen somewhere on the king side right away. Queen to H4 to G3. Takes. Pawn takes. Bishop takes. Check. Would be mating or force loss of material. It's a bit long-winded. It's 1, 2, 3 moves before well, 2 moves to set up and then I strike. Still, if I could get there, that would be good. So White is thinking here. What has he got to think about? I guess I was assuming he was just going to take, but he's thinking a long time. Let's check and see if he's still attached. I'm still here. Oh, okay, he moved. Okay, just retreated the bishop. So can I start this plan? What the advantage of that bishop move is opens up a square for his rook. Maybe queen here, rook here, queen G3. Is he threatening to take? I'd take the queen. Rook takes. Bishop takes. He's not really threatening to take, I don't think. Having the bishop defending that square is nice. It's the least valuable piece on the board. And so he doesn't want to take it. Maybe his idea was to reposition the bishop to c2, so he can take back with the bishop. So bishop c2, queen g3, takes. Bishop takes, pawn takes. So he went to defend the this pawn. It's true, because if I take, he can't take back with the queen because the bishop is on it. If he takes back with the rook, I at least win the exchange. It's probably better than playing queen g3, right? Winning the exchange. And I'm still a pawn up. I think it's better. So he really needed to take the pawn. I guess he couldn't allow me to continue to maneuver my pieces like this. Oh, let's back up. I was forgetting about the move rook d3 that I wanted to play. That would fork his queen and his bishop. That would have been much stronger. Okay, I thought he couldn't play that because of check.
Check. Check.
Let's see. Where is the rook going? I need to get a rook to this file. Rook here. Oh, I was thinking bishop takes here, check, would win, right? But it's covered by the rook and the queen now. So it's not so winning. So I need to, or rook on the this file here would win also. So maybe I just threaten to double rooks. Is that the way to do it? It's hard to believe that's the strongest move here, but I'm not seeing it. I want to get my rook on a place where it can come here, but those squares are all covered. Oh, maybe rook here, queen takes as a sacrifice, and then bishop takes, but then he can sack the rook. So it does not appear to be a winning, and not a winning sacrifice. And I need to speed up before I run out of time here too. Yeah, I was aware he could chase my queen like that. So check here or here, and then come back to this square, I think. Yeah.
Check.
Time to beat a strategic retreat here. I mean, I'm still, I'm 2 pawns up because I nabbed another pawn, so I should be okay. But I do have to worry about the back rank. And queen f6. I'm in a position to kind of cover things around the king if need be. Maybe even play one of these pawns forward to give my king some luft. And I still have this idea, after things settle down, of rook to d3, forking the queen and the bishop. Of course, I have to do that at some time when my queen is not under threat. Just checking. Yes, Castleton is still connected. Well, that's a tricky position. He's played a good game, considering his rating, the rating difference. He's played pretty well. There's, this threat of rook takes here, check, king takes, and queen over checkmate because the bishop is guarding this square. So I do have to be careful about my side rank here as well as the back rank. Right now my queen would be guarding, so it would not be mate, but that's an idea. Rook takes here, check, king takes, And then rook here, for example. I mean, queen to this square is checkmate if I don't have a defensive piece to interpose, because queen covers these squares and the bishop covers this square. Okay, he's burning up his clock. I'm still threatening rook to d3 here. I think that's a good big threat here. And with this rook out of the way, this bishop actually covers the e8 square, so the queen isn't coming back here to checkmate me on the back rank. So I could even consider, no, I can't. His bishop covers d1, so I can't go to d1, but d3 I can go to. Or d2 to chase his rook away. Okay, so he went there with the bishop. So rook d2 is covered, right? The queen has that covered. Okay, I'm just going to play a waiting move because I'm running out of time here myself. What can I do? I can play rook to, and I was running out of ideas. Rook to e7 to chase his queen away. Okay, I think he ran out of time there. A tricky position to play. I think there would have been a lot more maneuvering here. I assume.
White forfeits on time.
Yeah, so he did get his move in, but he's piling up on the f-pawn. This is interesting. So anyway, I will take a look at this as the post-mortem. See you guys later. Bye.